As a consultant, you earn an above average salary. That should be a no-brainer, no? Wait and see. I will make the German case here. Conclusions may slightly vary with the country. You will see. Let us first clarify what is the average here. In Germany, if you leave university with a master's degree, you can expect an average starting salary of about 45,000 euro per annum. If you are in a developing country, you will say it's a lot of money, but also keep in mind in Germany you have to pay a lot in taxes and also living expenses are higher. If you start your career as a primary school teacher, you typically earn a bit less than the average starting salary, about 40,000 euro. As an engineer, a bit more, like around 50,000 euro. And again, you typically earn more the bigger the company is that you are joining. Now, for a business consultant, it's a bit more challenging for me to make an estimate because I could argue for any estimate between 70,000 and 110 euro as a starting salary. I will go here for 100,000 euro for the case of simplicity and comparison. You will see why in a second. Now let's take our engineer and consultant friends with us. So I just said the gross salary of an engineer about 50k per annum and for the consultant around 100k per annum. Now going to the working hours per week. 40-hour a week is realistic to assume for an engineer. I mean, I know some engineers who work in companies that are protected by labor associations that work just 35 hours a week, others work like 45 or 50. For the consultant, I put 80-hour a week, which is a high value again, like with a salary, but not unrealistic in the top management consulting firms. I mean, you can also argue now, what about the office Friday and how to account the traveling time? So maybe it's 70 to 80, depends a bit, but it's fine to go ahead with. And that leads us then, if you divide the gross salaries by about 45 working weeks by the working hours, that both the engineer and the consultant earn a gross salary per hour of about 28 euros. If you go to the website of a German business magazine, Focus Money, and use its salary calculator, which I can highly recommend because it delivers highly accurate results, and enter the salary of our fictional engineer per year and check what you get. So after tax, she retains still 41,000 euro, but she also has to pay pension insurance, labor insurance, health insurance, and so on. So the actual net salary from a 50,000 euro, she retains around 31,000 euro. Now let me repeat the exercise for our fictional consultant who earns a double salary. And again, hit the calculate button. So after tax, he retains about 69,000 euro. But what actually matters, of course, is after social insurance as well, and that's around 54,000 euro. Let me report this on our overview sheet. So the engineer earns a net salary of around 31,000 euro per year, and the consultant makes a net salary of around 54k. So what does that mean? The engineer retains around 62% of her gross salary, and the consultant with a double gross salary retains just 54% of that. And the reason for that is the German tax progression. That means the more you earn, the relatively more you have to pay to the government in taxes. If we now do the same calculations as before, so we divide the net salary per year by the number of working hours per week and around 45 work weeks per year, we find two maybe inconvenient truths. So first thing is that the net salary in euro per hour for the engineer is then just 17 euro, and for the consultant just 15, which may look a bit less impressive than the 100k per annum. And if we take it one step further, it also means that while in terms of gross salary in euro per hour, both earn the same, after tax the engineer actually has gained an advantage due to the tax progression. Now you may say, wait a minute, because you have just discussed starting salaries, but it's a well-known fact that consultants benefit from fast growth in their salaries over the course of their career. And it's true, if you become a senior partner, you are a guaranteed millionaire. But it's also true that many consultants don't last that long and drop out much earlier. And if we now shift attention to our engineer, she has her evenings free. So maybe in the evening she spends the time on her online stock market portfolio, or she maybe builds the next startup part-time in the evenings. Now let's bring it all together. I mean, earning 100K per year after finishing university, of course, it's amazing, and you can stock up a lot of wealth in a short time just by being a workhorse. Also, I haven't yet mentioned the perks that may come with your contract, as well as they come from consulting life. And if you live in Dubai or in Hong Kong, the tax calculation is totally different for you and probably much more in your favor. Having said that, I also said 100K was a rather high estimate for a starting salary. And I mean, if you join a smaller consulting firm, maybe you work fewer hours, but also you earn less. And I really want to encourage you to make this calculation of net salary per hour, because it may look less impressive than the gross salary per year. And so to really encourage you to think about this, I will give this myth just 3 out of 5 stars. If you got some new insights from this video, please hit the like button and subscribe to the UN Consulting channel for more consulting insider knowledge to come. This video is part of the UN Consulting Job Test series, in which I help you find out if you should become a consultant. If you would like to take part in the test, for the test instructions, please first check out this video here now. If you're already in the test, then we can go on to the next video, in which we'll explore the glamour factor of consulting life. Business class flights, lavish dinners, 5-star hotels. Is it all true or not? You shall find out here.